Hey, basketball coaches and basketball players, my name is Alan from Al's Basketball Training, and today I'm going to give you some fantastic 3-out, 2-in basketball plays that you can run with your team. Let's get down to the clipboard, let's check these out really quickly. These plays will, however, only work against man-to-man defenses, so keep that in mind. So just so you know, the screener basketball play is when a player goes to screen for another player who then screens for the ball, just so you know. And that's actually one of the first plays I'm going to show you because it's the most easiest that you could run. And that is player 2 setting a screen down for player 5 and player 3 setting a screen down for player 4. At this point, player 5 and 4 both go up and screen for player 1. Now, player 1, at the beginning of this play, would have put up his left or right hand as to the direction that he wanted to go in. And if that's the case, then let's say he put up his left fist to go towards that left side. Player 3 will now set up a secondary screen for player 2, who's going to pop out towards that wing. Player 1 is going to pass player 2 the ball, and player 2 is going to take that shot. Player 1 could have also taken a shot from 3 as well, so keep that in mind if you're a player. Now this next play is quite complicated, but it's a lot of fun to run. So what we're going to have here is player 4, he is going to be going up and setting a screen for player 1. However, at the same time, we're going to be having player 3 cut down towards that low block, setting a screen for player 5. And player 1 is going to roll off of player 4 or use player 4 as a screen, but also use player 5 as a screen as well. And now what happens here is player 3 is going to be clearing out after that screen with player 5. And now player 1 is hopefully going to get stuck on 4 and 5 or just 5, one or the other. But either way, player 5 is going to roll off of that. And now what we have is player 4 popping. We have the possibility of player 5 going in for a layup. We have a possibility for player 1 to hit a 3-point shot. We also have the possibility of player 4 collapsing, watching that roll happening, where player 1 could then reverse the ball out to player 4 for a 3-point shot as well. Now in this next play, a little bit complicated, but still easy enough to run with most high school teams. And that is player 3 is going to do a high cut across the free throw line, and player 4 is going to be setting a screen at the same time for player 5. Now, while this is happening, player 1 is going to dribble out towards that left free throw line extended, and we're going to have player 5 use player 4 as a screen, and player 2 is going to be using player 3 as a screen. Now, player 2 is going to be calling for the ball, and so is player 5. If neither of them are open, what's going to happen now is player 4 is going to clear out, same as player 3, and we're going to have player 2 set that screen, because that's now that screen, the screener play that we were mentioning all video. Player 1 is going to use player 2 as a screen. He could take that shot, or he could hit player 2 rolling towards the basket. Now the nice thing with this is it ends up with a 5-out. So the idea behind this is if player 2 was not open, then player 5 is going to fill top, player 2 is going to fill out, and now we're in a 5-out offense so that we could continue some simple screen and roll plays. I personally, as a coach, always try to finish, and I've mentioned this in a few videos, I always try to finish in a 5-out so that we can run some motions. Now this final play that I'm going to show you, it is a 3-out, 2-in. We start with that same formation, however, it turns into a low 1-4. So we're going to start like this, but we're going to have both of these wing players move down towards the baseline. And now what we're going to have is player 5. He's going to be setting a screen for player 2. Same as player 4. Now, player 1 would have communicated beforehand which side he wants by raising up a hand. And that side is going to then go and screen for player 1. Meanwhile, player 2 is the other side. He's going to be cutting across that free throw line. Now, what I want to see here is player 1 using that screen. Player 1 could take that shot. He could hit up player 1 for a shot. Or what could happen is player 3 could pop. Player 3 may sag down. And now player 3 could have an open shot. So there's a couple of different options here that could become very lucrative for your team to score. Now, I hope that these plays help your team win more games. If they do, hit that like button and subscribe. These are not necessarily plays that you're going to be seeing other teams running, so this could give you an upper advantage or an upper hand against teams, because these are sort of rare plays in these days, because most teams now are running a 5-out offense.